Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. This lesson that I'm doing here is pretty much something that I've been putting together for a couple of weeks now, you know, and just something that, you know, you think about from time to time, and dealing in this truth, and just in general, just different situations and things that happen that kind of lets you know, about, you know, like with the script, when the scriptures speak about demons and spirits and different things like that. Like the name of this lesson is called Principalities, Spirits, and Demons. This lesson was inspired by the brothers out in GMSLA. As you can see on your screen, there's some videos. This was the first video that I watched probably about a week and a half ago, or or so, maybe 2 weeks ago. And ever since then, you know, I've been wanting to put a lesson together. You know, a bunch of scriptures came to mind. I jotted them down. I went, through other scriptures. Like I said, I was putting it together for a while, and finally, I got the scriptures that I need, and whatever the Spirit allows me to bring out concerning this matter. I pray Yahweh Bashem El Shai guide my spirit and my mouth to put this lesson together to edify the elect out there and comfort brothers that may be going through situations where you have them spirits messing with you, because that's their power. The power of these demons and spirits, wicked, these wicked forces. Their power is to attack us, whether it be, ailments, whether it be thoughts in our minds, whether it be trying to cast doubt upon the truth, whether it be them jumping on other people, to come against us, whether you be driving on the street and somebody with demons on them cut you off, or whether you be in the store, in the supermarket, trying to buy something to eat and them spirits start acting up in there, or whether you be at a clothing store, whatever, getting some shirts or whatever, or boxes or whatever, socks, and them spirits are acting up there. Whether you go out to a restaurant and, just people with negative energy on them, just rubbing you the wrong way, making you really want to just stay home and not leave home. But, if you don't have that luxury to stay home, we have to go out and work, so you won't be able to, just stay home, because these spirits are fucking with you, This was, like I said, this was the first video I saw, Spiritual Wickedness in High Places. This is a testimony from a former witch that turned from demon worship and praying to Satan and doing incantations for Satan, casting spells upon people, casting demons upon people, whether it be adulterous demons, homosexual demons, death demons, and he was working that left-hand side, and then the brothers did a live show, which I don't believe I've seen this one, Spiritual Impromptu. I believe this was dealing with the same topic, if I'm mistaken, Salakia. Then you have For We Wrestle Not Against Flesh and Blood. And then you have another series that the brother Micah Allah, I believe, was putting together. This one here, GMS Ancient of Days 2. This is part 2. I saw part 1. I believe I saw part 2 also. And it's called Spiritual Wickedness in High Places, Encouragement. And then I believe it was part 1 or maybe part 2. There was a brother in LA that gave a testimony of how he was going through certain situations. And by the way, shalom to the Akim on the comment board. Yeah, but the brother gave a testimony about certain situations he was dealing with, with these spirits fucking with him. you know, and through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Shah, he was able to fight him off. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I just want to get these points out and then go into the scriptures. You know, you had instances where people were possessed, you know, with demons, or their living quarters were infested with demons. And back in the days, King Masha, High Priest Arya, High Priest Tahar, and some of the other top men back then went to do an exorcism at a particular house, and they went from floor to floor, you know, saying prayers, you know, and casting them demons out, pulling out certain things that people had in their house, whether it was a horseshoe or you know, a Baphomet cross or whatever the hell it was that they had in there. And then after they did the exorcism and got rid of the madness, King Masha said a prayer for the Lord to show him that the demons were gone from that place. And as soon as they walked out of the building, there was this one Jake walking down the street bugged out, you know, talking all kinds of shit. So they knew that them demons jumped on him and he moved on, you know. And that's what them demons do. See, when you come into this truth, them demons start, you know, jumping on people and bugging out, and you're like, damn, what the hell is wrong with this person? You know, it's just that them spirits, they jump on different people, you know. And you know, the thing about it, oh, and also wanted to mention that these brothers here, GMSLA, the brothers in Spanish, they also did a lesson on spiritual wickedness in high places in Spanish, and they also put his testimony here in Spanish, you know. But and then also the brothers in New York, you know, there was a situation where there was a sister that came out to the camp, and you know, there were demons that were messing with her at her home, and Apostle Tahar, you know, gave the brothers, you know, the go ahead, the blessing to go and exercise them demons. I think it was like 5 brothers, you know. I mean, they can give their testimony on it, you know. I think it was like 5 brothers from the New York camp, and they went, you know, they did what they did, fasted, or you know, went, said the prayers. I'm not sure exactly how it went down, and them spirits left, you know, and she never came back because, you know, she got what she, you know, what she was looking for, and them demons left, you know. Another instance I remember, Apostle Gabar and Apostle Rakah were selling oils and incense on 86th Street and 3rd Ave. That was back in the days when they used to be out on the oil tables, and there was this guy that came up, and they didn't know who he was, but they figured it out later. And he came up to Apostle Gabar and Apostle Rakah, and he said, you know, there are forces out here that are stopping you from making money. And Apostle Gabar said, yeah, I know. And then the guy just walked away, and they realized the guy was a witch, you know. So to make a long story short, these principalities and spirits and demons, they're real, you know, and they jump on people and they fuck with brothers, you know, because that's all part of being chastised, you know. I mean, part of the chastising is to be tried and go through all different types of adversities, you know, whether it be from your woman, your family, your mother, whatever, you know. And there was many different instances in the scriptures where these things actually happen, you know. In Lord's will, like I said, we're gonna go through some of them. I got a whole bunch of scriptures that I wrote down. Like I said, I've been compiling the list for about good 2 weeks. So hopefully, if it be the Lord's will, I could get through most of these scriptures. If not, go to maybe do a second part to this, you know. But that's the thing. The thing is, you know, if the Lord is with you, if you're part of the elect, the Lord is gonna protect you. Like the brother put the scripture, GMS Army 144, Psalms 91:11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And that's the point. And that's the reason why, we build our spiritual bank account with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and sacrifice things that we sacrifice, so that when the time comes, the Lord can have mercy on us and protect us, because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, if Yahweh Bashem Yahushai before us, who can be against us? Nobody. And like I said, shalom to all the brothers on the comment boards. I want to start off with a scripture in the book of Isaiah. I think it's appropriate. It's one of the scriptures I have on my list, because the bottom line is, the Most High creates both sides. The Lord is a perfect balance. Matter of fact, before I read that, let me go to the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter. And all right, and Yahweh's powers said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. So the angels, they know good and they also know evil. Why? Because the Most High is the one that created good, and he's also the one that created evil. It says, and now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. See, so they knew that once man learned good and evil, when he turned back to righteousness, then the cycle would be full, it would be complete, and then he would be able to live forever. But at that time, when Adam broke the commandment of the Most High to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that was the falling away of the beginning of the falling away of man back then, and then from that point on, we fell drastically. But now we're at the point now where we're getting back of that tree of life to be able to rebuild and regenerate us, and to bring us to the perfect man, which the perfect man is when the Lord comes back, delivers us out of these bodies, gives us our new bodies, and puts his laws into our inward parts to where we'll be perfect. And we'll know both sides. Why? Because we've experienced both sides. We're not just saying that, we know about wickedness, because we've actually been involved in it. I'm sure every brother has their own testimony of situations that they've been through, that they've done that was wicked, But the point is, we know both sides. We've been exposed to both sides. So now we're getting back that tree of life, and we eating that tree of life now, so that we can live forever. All right. So Isaiah 45, and I'll start at I'll go straight to the point. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Most High creates both sides. And what happened is the Lord gave us of both sides, beginning with Adam, because he could have stopped Adam from going off, but the Most High had a purpose. The Most High has a will. There's a certain thing that has to be done, because it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to actually experience it. So the Lord said, don't do wickedness, but you don't know what wickedness is. How do you know to avoid it? So we had to go through this situation, learn both sides of the tree, so that when we get back into power and we're perfect, we can judge righteously, because we know about both sides, because we've experienced both sides. So as the Lord said, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. And this is in the Apocrypha, the book of Ecclesiasticus 17. I just want to go straight to the point. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 17 and 5. Said they received the use of 5 operations of Yahweh, that's dealing with man. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding, because we have understanding that other beasts don't. See, the Lord gave us an understanding. All the other animals that the Lord created at the beginning, they have, the use, the five senses, but they don't have understanding, and that was only given to man. And in the seventh, speech, and they also don't have speech, even though they can make sounds and stuff like that. But as far as putting words together, they can't do that. It says an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. In other words, to be able to express into words what's going on in your mind, and animals can't do that. It says, or should I say, they can't do that in a way to where it's understandable. All right. It says, counsel and a tongue and eyes, ears and a heart gave he them to understand. With all he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil. So pretty much that's what the Lord did. He showed us good and evil. All right, there's a couple of scriptures. I'll read some of these. GMS Gad, Malachi 3:18. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. And that's true. Why? Because we've learned both sides of the tree. GMS Skid Row, Job 34:21. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings. The angels got to report both sides, and that's right. But then you have righteous angels, and you also have wicked angels. Because one thing about the Most High, which we're going to get real quick, this is the next scripture, Hebrews 12, and I'm just trying to hit the main points. Like I said, I got a lot of scriptures. Hebrews 12:9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So the scriptures say that the Most High is the Father of spirits, which means he creates both sides of the spectrum. We read that the Most High creates good and he creates evil. So the same way you have righteous angels and you have people that you might meet that have a positive aura about them, and then there's other people you meet that have a negative aura about them. More than likely they either have demons on them or they are a demon. And more than likely the brother that you get that good vibe from, more than likely he might be a righteous spirit. And it's when you in tune with the spirit, you can read a lot of different things that you weren't able to do when you were in the world in the midst of all this madness. But even then, there was like a certain filter that the Lord gave us to where you could kind of discern a guy that was wicked, and a guy that was not so bad, so to speak. I put it in those terms, So the Most High himself is the Father of spirits. He created both sides of the spectrum, The next scripture I'm gonna go to is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6 to 12. All right, these are like set up scriptures, to set up, the fact that the Most High created the angels and he's the Father of spirits, and you got angels on the left hand side and the right hand side. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. So Satan is a son of the Lord. Why? Because the Most High created him. He was created. So the adversary, the main demon on the left hand side, that's the main adversary. The Lord created him too, and he's also one of the sons of the Most High. It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So what the hell you think Satan was doing when he was going to and fro in the earth? He was bringing hell, upon the earth, bringing all types of wickedness, bringing homosexual spirits, adulterous spirits, people that steal, to commit idolatry, which is spiritual fornication, to commit murder, to commit all different types of acts that go against righteousness. So that's what Satan was doing out here. So letting you know that this world down here is Satan's dominion. You know, this is his playground. You know, and only way you're gonna be able to avoid any of that is if the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is walking with you, supping with you, guiding you. You know, because these spirits are out here, man. And like I said, anytime you go out, as soon as you go out the door, you know, something always reminds you that these demons are out there, because they come and straight up fuck with us. You know, no matter what, no matter from the smallest thing to the greatest thing. You know, it says, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, and one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? So Job was righteous and he avoided evil. It says, then Satan answered Yahweh and said, does Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hand, and his substance is increased in the land. Why? Because the Lord was blessing him, right? But put forth now thine hand, put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. So Satan goes up back and forth to the Lord, you know, and he converses with the Most High, which lets you know that the wicked angels as well as the righteous angels are in perfect order with the Most High. And I read the scripture the brother put, Mark White, 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And that's Satan's whole purpose. Satan's whole purpose is to get you to pull you away from the truth. You know, like you had them guys with the flat earth doctrine. That was them spirits, seducing spirits, which I told one of them guys that was them seducing spirits. And the brother Mawatazat, the head of the LA camp, he witnessed it. I told him there are seducing spirits that will, you know, pull you away in the last days, something along those lines. So that flat earth thing, those are demons that were entering these guys' minds from watching them flat earth videos or whatever, and then it infested them. It took root, you know. And what happened? They went out the door, because that's Satan's whole purpose. Satan's whole purpose is to break you, and once he breaks you, he got you. So he's moving on to the next person, you know. And once Satan breaks you, then you're not a threat anymore, you know. So that's why, you know, we pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai not to take his Holy Spirit from us, because these spirits are real, man, you know. And some brothers have actually experienced certain situations, man, where them spirits had jumped on them and made them bug out. You know, and it's through the mercies of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that they were able to come through that. You know. All right, so moving on to the next scripture. This is 1 Kings, and some of these scriptures are pretty much basic scriptures that, you know, we've gone over, you know, time and time again. But it's good to go over the basics, because the basics is where it's at. This is 1 Kings 22 and 19. Just to let you know that there's a left-hand side and there's a right-hand side. There's a righteous side and there's a wicked side. 1 Kings 22:19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So you had the Most High, you had Yahushai, you had Satan, you had Ma'ak Allah, you had Rapaya Allah, you had Gabaria Allah, you know. You had a warrior Allah, you know, you had all the righteous angels, and you had the wicked angels. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So they were giving the Lord suggestions. And now keep in mind that these were righteous spirits and wicked spirits, giving the Most High their suggestions on what they could do to persuade this guy Ahab to fall, because Ahab was a wicked king. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. So a lying spirit is not a righteous spirit. A lying spirit, is a wicked spirit. It says, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now, therefore, behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh hath spoken evil concerning thee. So pretty much letting you know that the Most High creates both sides, and you have righteous angels and you have wicked angels. Now we're going to go to the book of Genesis, the 28th chapter, because just like we read about Satan coming back and forth in the earth, coming back and forth in the earth, between the Most High and coming back here on the earth, that there's like certain portals, certain spots on the earth that are heavy with spiritual activity. That's why these devils got something that they call ley lines. Now I know you've heard us talk about these before. Now ley lines, let's see what we have here. Ley lines are hypothetical alignments of a number of places of geographical interest, such as ancient monuments and megaliths. Their existence was suggested in 1921 by the amateur archaeologist Alfred Watkins, whose book, The Old Straight Track, brought the alignments to the attention of the wider public. That didn't really get too much. All right, here, let's see what this says. Let me see. Just trying to see if I can get the... Let's see what this says here. Let me move this over a little bit. It says most cultures have traditions and words to describe the straight, often geometric alignments that ran across ancient landscapes, connecting both natural and sacred prehistoric structure together. Usually the names given to represent these invisible lines are translated to an equivalent of spirit, dream, or energy paths. However, apart from the physical presence of the sites themselves, proving the presence of a connection between them is something that researchers have found notoriously elusive. Yeah, because the bottom line is that this is a spiritual thing. It's on a higher level. Amongst the widely differing and often simplistic theories that attempt to explain why ley lines and landscapes alignments first appeared, the following theories probably say as much about us now at any time. Okay, let me just, it says here, definition of a ley line. Even though the term ley line was originally conceived by Alfred Watkins by 1929, he had discarded, so like, let me move this over a little more. Excuse me. He had discarded the use of the name ley and referred to his alignments only as old straight tracks or archaic tracks. It is quite useless looking for existing fragments, however old, or of roads which may remain from the first track. Although, as we shall see, some bits may form useful indications of its site, the changes from early days have been so many in the matter of roads. We must therefore clear our minds not only of what we think of roads, even Roman ones, but of our surmises and begin again. The current definition of a ley line, according to Wikipedia, is as follows. Ley lines are hypothetical alignments of a number of places of geographical interest, such as ancient monuments and megaliths. The explanation by no means complete the modern definition of a ley line, which pretty much they're just going in circles. A ley line is pretty much certain areas where you have spirit, a lot of spirit, so what I'm looking for, activity. There's certain places that have more spiritual activities than others, like the chariots, the sighting of chariots. Those could be considered ley lines. There's some chariots that come from the waters There's some chariots that come from the skies. Some chariots just appear out of nowhere. You have certain places where the demonic activity is more greater. That's why they'll build like around Rome. In Rome, you had the 7 hills of Rome, you know, which were heavy into the sacrifice of gods, where certain witches and warlocks back in those days would sell their wares. You know, they would peddle their wares in that area. You know, so that Stonehenge, you know, different things like that, wherever these witches gather together to say their incantations and all of that, that's considered a ley line. And pretty much they got it from the scriptures, you know, because the scriptures speak about these things, but they don't call them ley lines. This is Genesis 28, and I'm gonna go to the 10th verse. Genesis 28 and 10. And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran, and he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took up the stones of that place and put them for his pillows. You know, rough man right there. And laid down in that place to sleep. How many brothers could sleep on have a pillow for a rock, or a rock for a pillow? And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, the angels of the Most High ascending and descending on it. So that spot that he chose to sleep at, that was actually a spiritual connection between the spirit world and the physical world. So there was a lot of angelic activity there, you know. So it doesn't say if it was righteous angels or wicked angels, but it was just a portal, so to speak, where angels could go back and forth, right? It says, and behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am Yahweh, the power of Abraham thy father, and the power of Isaac. The land wherein thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed, and thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south, and in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in the places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken of to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep and said, surely Yahweh is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of the Most High, and this is the gate of heaven. See, so there was a situation where there was a lot of activity. You know, the Most High is there, the angels. Now I want to look up 2 words. This the word ladder, just to see what it says for ladder. Salam or salama. It just says ladder. Comes from the word salal, to lift up, cast up, exalt, cast up a highway, to cast up a way. So that's like a highway between the spirit world and the physical world. All right. And then the other word I want to look up was the word gate. And he said, how dreadful is this place, you know? Because, you know, people that see these Salaki, man, I got to keep moving this thing around, Salaki, brothers. And also I want to look up the, people that have had encounters with the angels. It's dreadful, you know? That's why I said, how dreadful is this place? Let me see, is the gate. The word gate is sha'ir, which that does mean gate of entrance, gate of space inside a gate, marketplace, public meeting place, city, town, gate of palace, royal castle, temple, court of tabernacle, heaven. You know, so that was a gate between the spirit world and the physical world, you know. So that's pretty much where all this activity comes from. Okay. Let me go to John. Let's see what this says here. The book of St. John, chapter 1, and verse 51. It says, and he said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter you shall see heaven open, and the angels of the Most High ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. See, so there's certain spots on the earth that have a heavier presence of angels, whether it be the righteous angels or the wicked angels, you know. And that's just to let you know that the Most High, he creates both sides, you know. He creates the righteous angels and the wicked angels, and they obey his word, they obey his voice, they come back and forth upon the earth. Salaki, brothers, bear with me a second. They come back and forth on the earth, you know. They enter people, you know. They walk around looking for, you know, like the scripture say, looking for a place to rest. And Lord's will, we're going to get to that scripture too. But let's go from there to the book of Job, the 2nd chapter, and the 1st verse to the 3rd verse. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, and one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. So the bottom line is, you have these spirits that are pretty much their whole mission is to try to destroy brothers, is to try to destroy a brother's faith, you know. And that's what the scriptures say, that in the latter times some shall give heed to seducing spirits, you know, because that's Satan's job. Satan is the adversary. Satan is not your friend, you know. Just because, you know, you in this truth, just because you know the truth, don't mean them spirits ain't going to mess with us, you know. And that's the thing we have to know. We have to know that these things are going to happen, you know. And if you know that they're coming and you prepare your mind for it, then when they come, you're able to deal with it a little easier, you know. And a lot of these fake ass false prophets, you know, they don't prepare their congregation for that. You know, their whole thing is about, you know, just have fun, man. You know, either have fun or go to some goddamn shooting range and get ready for that. Which they don't know that that's on the left-hand side too. You know, now were they wrong for going to a gun range? Nah. There's no law against it. You can't go to a gun range. But the thing about it, why would you put that on video? It's what it is to demonize the whole Israelite thing, you know, because Satan wants to move on it, you know. All right, let's go from there to the Apocrypha. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39. Like I said, I wrote these scriptures down, just going through some of them, and you know, we'll take it from there. And as the Spirit gives me other scriptures, I'll bring them out. And I know you brothers putting scriptures up too, so you know, Lord's will, we'll get to those too. All right. This is the book of 2nd Ezra. I'm sorry, Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. So there are certain spirits out there that are created for vengeance. That's why when somebody gets killed or when somebody gets in a serious accident, those are spirits manipulating everything. Because you could be an expert driver, but them spirits can mess with you for that split second and have you get into a major accident, you know, or have you put to death. You know, there's spirits out there that are just manipulating everything. You know, the Lord is moving these pawns. You know, just like you have physical men that are pawns, you have also demons out there that are pawns. It says, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. And those are all spirits. You know, like they had this situation down in was it Chile? They had the worst fires in a long time. I believe years ago in California, you had like these fireballs that were flying through the air, burning shit up. You know, those are spirits, man. Because an angel is nothing but fire. This is Psalms 104. There's nothing but pure energy. Psalms 104 and 4. Who maketh his angel spirits, his ministers a flaming fire? So the angels are pure energy, you know? So if you have a storm, if you have a hurricane, if you have a tornado, if you have fires, if you have earthquakes, all these different things, those are all spirits, you know, activating these things, you know? And they're getting things brewing. Why? Because the Most High has a day of vengeance, a day of judgment, you know? And you also have these spirits that mess with people and jump on people and make them bug out. You know, that's why when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, what was the main thing he was doing? He was healing people that were, you know, I got some scriptures on that. He was healing people that had spirits on them. You know, and sicknesses too is spirits. You know, because, you know, when Satan plagued Job, what did he do? He made boils come upon him. So those are demons that were messing with Job, you know. This is the book of Psalm 78 and 12. You know, and this is not, you know, this ain't to scare brothers. This is just to, you know, because like the Apostle Paul said, I have not shunned to declare all my counsel. So we have to know everything. You know, we have to know the beautiful things of the scriptures, the honey part of the scriptures, and we have to also know the bitter part of the scriptures. You know, because the scriptures say that, you know, like brothers been quoting a lot lately, you know, which we've quoted a lot also. Many are called, but few are chosen. You know, so that puts fear in your heart. Say, damn, I've been called, but I don't know if I've been chosen. So let me give diligence, and hopefully the Lord will deliver me. You know, because there's all different type of traps that you can fall into. You know, and you know, different pitfalls that you can fall into. You know, and the thing about it is you know, prayer is key. You know, keep that spiritual connection between you and Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and yourself. You know, that's how we do it. You know, we keep that connection there by praying and supplication. You know, that's part of it. You know, because at any given moment, anyone can fall off the race. You know, so we give diligence in hopes that the Lord will protect us and guide us and keep us. You know, and that's the bottom line. This is Psalm 78, and I go to 12 to 14. Let me see what that says. It says, marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through. He made the waters to stand as an heap. In the daytime also he led them with the cloud, and all the night with the light of fire. And those were angels. Those are actual spirits, you know, that were guiding them. You know, then you had the wicked spirits that was fucking with the Egyptians and plaguing the Egyptians. This is the 49th verse to the 51st verse. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. You know, and you can read about that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, where it spoke about, where it speaks about the apparitions and the sad faces and the rushings of water and the sound of wild beasts in the darkness. You know, giving them Egyptians heart attacks, bugging them the hell out, you know, messing with their heads, you know. So that the Most High is terrible, man. You know, but the point is that you have these spirits, and these spirits are real. You know, reading on, he made a way to his anger and spared not their souls from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham. See, so the Most High caused that to happen, you know, because he sent Yahweh Shai to destroy the firstborn because they wouldn't let Israel go. You know, so all these spirits are still here. They've been here from the beginning, and they're still here now. But the thing about it, you know, Lord's will, towards the end of the lesson,
Like I said, if I don't get to it, maybe I'll do a part 2 to this. You know, Yahweh Shai got dominion over all those principalities and powers and demons. You know, they're bowing down to him. As to where when he was on the earth, they were plaguing him. Now they bow down to him because he overcame them. So he overcame them so that we can have hope. So now we're in a position now where we need that mercy. No, we need those prayers. We need deliverance. We need salvation. You know, we need to be delivered from this present evil world. You know, we need to be delivered from these witches and warlocks that are constantly day in and day out putting curses upon us. You know, trying to sick Satan on us. You know, have certain things happen to where we get discouraged. You know, there was a scripture that came to mind. It just escaped me. If it comes back, I'll bring it back up. You know, but that's the point. You know, they're constantly. Oh, I know now. This is the book of Numbers 23 and 23. It says, surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what hath the Most High wrought. So pretty much, there's certain men that are protected from that. That's what the scriptures say. If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? It don't matter if it's a physical person. It doesn't matter if it's spiritual entities. They can't mess with us. Why? Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is with us. And that's the point, you know? And that's why the Apostle Paul prayed so fervently to the different churches and worked in trying to build them up. And he said, you know, that he couldn't wait until Yahushua be formed in them. Because once Yahushua was formed in them, then he wouldn't have to worry about them so much. Because they would be able to walk in that proper path. Because Yahushua would be supple with them. Yahushua would be supple with them and guiding them. You know, that's why he was so hard on them, so he can get them in that right path, so he can get them accustomed, you know, to walk the that path, you know, of diligence, you know, so that when them spirits came, they knew exactly what to do. They knew how to handle them spirits, you know, and that's why we do lessons that we do and give you the whole thing, man. You know, some people call it spookism, some people call it mysticism, but we call it what it is, the truth. And the truth is the truth. You have spirits out there. Spirits are constantly attacking you, whether it be in your dreams, whether it be, like I said, you on the road somewhere, whether you be on a job, you know, whether you be wherever, you know, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's always something there to fuck with you, you know? Yep, and that's a good scripture. We just read that. And GMS lines then Yep. You know, brothers are putting good scriptures up. I'll read some of them, and I have some of these same scriptures, but I'm gonna read them. It says, Luke 10:19, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. See, so the Lord gave us that power. Going back to who? Beginning with King David, which is the Apostle Peter, the house of David. You know, Peter being a head disciple to lead the church, you know, that nothing will be able to hurt us. Ephesians 6:11 says, put on the whole armor of the Most High that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And that's it. Because Satan's going to come with all kind of shit. The closer we get to the end, the more intense it's going to get. You know, not just in prophecies and things happening around the world, but also it's going to get intense as far as persecutions. It's going to get more intense as far as these devils trying to make a move. You know, some guys are going to get offended. Some guys are going to get nervous, and they're going to hit the back door. You know, so you know we're in a this time, like the scripture says, there's not going to be a time that ever was like it since the world began. You know, so we're here. We're teaching the word. We're doing the righteous thing, but we're being persecuted on all levels by every demon in hell, pretty much. You know, but we forge on. Why? Because we have men that are looking to us, you know, to see as examples. Same thing with you brothers. You got men out there that's looking to y'all for examples. Like there's a brother that just opened up a new site on YouTube, and he's from Mexico, and the site is called the GMS, the 11th hour, something along those lines, but it's in Spanish, you know. And he was given, you know, he was breaking down scripture. He was going into the parable of the talent. I'm sorry, the parable of the penny. And he said he was moved with fear to do. He said, because if you don't do, then you're gonna have to answer for it, you know. And the brother, he was getting down, you know, in the spirit, and I was happy. I was like, wow, you know. So this thing is moving. It's things that are happening, but there's gonna be all different type of other things too, you know, in this walk. It's not going to be an easy walk, you know, and we have to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to continually build up our minds, because we've been through a lot of these things, and we're still praying for strength. We're still praying for the Lord to guide us and protect us, you know, and the things that we've experienced in our walk in this truth, we impart them unto you, brothers, so that you can also have hope, because you got the scriptures as examples, and then you have men that have actually gone through certain things for examples, you know. Like I was telling you the story about Apostle Gabor and Apostle Rakah. This one guy, this Edomite, out of nowhere came up to them while they were on the oil table, and he said, you know that there's forces out here that's keeping y'all from making money. And Apostle Gabor said, yeah, I know. And the guy walked away. Now, while the guy walked away, he probably was in the back of his mind, said, damn, why the hell did I tell that guy that? What the hell's wrong with me? But the spirit compelled him to say that. Just like the spirit, when them spirits came around the men of the Lord, they would confess that they were the men of the Lord. You know, and I got some of those scriptures too. Yahushua, I know who you are. You know, Yahushua, I know. Paul, I know. But who the hell are you? So them spirits, they know who our spirits are. The names that we have right now, those are just physical names of our bodies, but they know in our spirit, they know what spirit is in each one of us, you know. And that's why them demons constantly try to plague you, to try to discourage you from teaching the truth and from continuing on. All right, so let's go from there. All right, I read Psalm 78. All right, now let's go to Matthew, the 12th chapter. See, because when you before you come into the truth, you know, we all have demons on us. But then when we come into the truth, the Lord pulls them demons away. Okay, this is the book of Matthew 12. I'm gonna start at 43. All right, it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Matter of fact, let's look up this word unclean. Akathartos, if I'm pronouncing it right. Not cleansed, unclean in a ceremonial sense, that which must be obtained from according to the Levitical law. In a moral sense, unclean in thought and life. Meaning cleansed, impure, ceremonial, morally lewd, or especially demonic, foul, unclean. So it's demonic. So it was a demonic, foul, filthy spirit. And there was one time where because when we had the school in Connecticut, you know, the school was small, and we didn't have that many resources. So there was this one guy that used to be in the school. His name was Rashawan, you know, and you know, he was a resourceful kind of guy. You know, he knew how to do things and get certain things. So then, to build up the school, what we did was we were going through like empty, abandoned buildings. You know, we would find a desk, you know, or we would find some chairs, you know, and different things like that, and we would bring them to the school, clean them up, you know, and that was it. Find cans of paint the wall, you know, because we didn't have the finances back then. So, you know, we did what we had to do, you know. So I followed suit with them, you know. I was pretty handy myself, so I help, you know, bring the stuff to the school. And there was one instance we walked into this one building, and upstairs there was a room that you could tell it was, you know, either crackheads up in there or people shooting dope, you know. But nobody was there at the time. But you could tell it was one of them places where people would get together and shoot dope and probably sleep at night, smoke crack and all that. And when I walked in there, I felt like a real demonic presence in there, you know. And I couldn't wait to get out of there, man, because it was like a real, you could tell from one part of the building, walking into that spot, you could feel like a real demonic presence in there. So I wanted to get the hell out of there. No, but that was some spirits that were there that were making them people smoke or crack or shoot dope, whatever the hell they was doing. You know, so there's certain places you go to, you feel that presence. You know, you feel them demonic presence. Another time when we was at the New Jack City School, as you heard Apostle Gabar, Apostle Tar and Apostle Gabar and Apostle Rakas speak about from time to time. There was a time when Lahab was there, and there was like a party going on, and that night, I had made a vow, to the Lord that I wasn't going to drink that night, for a couple of days, whatever. I forget what it was, and I was sitting there, just watching King Masha. He was dancing with his daughters, it was getting down, I was just, smiling. I said, King David, I could imagine when King David, when the ark came back, he was dancing happy, and as I was just sitting there, just soaking up the vibe, all of a sudden I felt this like real demonic presence walk from behind me, like something like real, like a force. And I cringed. I said, "Oh, what the hell?" And I turned around, and maybe about a good 10 feet away from me, I saw Lahab walking in slow motion. He had like a demonic glow, but to me, he was walking in slow motion. And I didn't see like the demons, but I felt that force and that negative energy. I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was just staring at him as he was walking out. So there's certain instances where you come across things like that, and that's to let you know that these spirits are real. So it says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. So here it is, Lahab was cleansed, of them spirits, but them spirits came back on him. But they came back on him worse, It says, then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Why? Because the truth would cleaned up that house. That house being the body, right? Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter into and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also in this wicked generation. And that's what happened to Lahab. And I'm giving you him as an example because y'all brothers have seen Lahab. Y'all witness who he is. And Apostle Tar was saying for years, you're going to see towards the end of this thing, that you're going to have these guys from the old guys from that weren't doing the work. You're going to see them pop back up. And you see it. You see it happening. We're still waiting for a few other heads to pop back up, but you see it now. And you see that he's worse, because now he's teaching about hell. He's teaching about the virgin birth. He's teaching about all kind of madness, But that was because them spirits entered into him and they came back, and they came back with full force, This is, real quick, just on that note, this is the book of Psalms 119 and 9. It says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to that word. So this word, when you first heard it, the Lord cleansed us and them demons left. See? So that happened to every man that come in the truth. But then certain men, them demons hop back on them even worse. That's why King David prayed that the Lord take not his Holy Spirit away from him. And we have to take that same attitude. This is the book of St. John 15 and 1. And the true vine, and my Father is a husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. See? So the word is what cleanses you. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is him to them that are lost. So what do you think blinds them from that? It's an actual angel, an actual spirit that blinds people from not getting the truth. Isaiah 6 and 8. Also, I heard the voice of Yahweh, of the Lord, saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Now, this was an actual angel that was sent on a mission. And what was this angel's mission? Let's read on. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. So the angel's job was to block people from Israelites from getting the truth. It says, make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes. So it's an actual force there that's stopping them from getting the truth. Least they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. See, because if they would convert, they would have to return back and the Lord would have to heal them, you know, but the Lord don't want them. Now, some he allows the mind to be open and then he puts them back to sleep. Let me see, a couple of brothers put scriptures. Let me all right, Ephesians 5:26, that's a good one. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Ashlawayat, Sirach 33:14, good is set against evil, that's right, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2. Because there's a perfect balance. See, the Most High has perfect balance. You know, so that's why he has both sides. Okay. Okay, so now moving on. This is the book of going back to 2 Corinthians 4. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not. So you have certain angels that their whole task is to blind people from getting the truth. You see? Least the light of the glorious gospel of Yahushua, who was the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. No, and then you have certain angels that are just sent to plague people and put sicknesses on them. You have certain angels that are just sent to torment people. People that are born retarded, those are just demons, you know, that are on them, you know, that are causing them to be that way. Now we're gonna read other instances where you have certain men where they were in a bugged out state, and the Lord pulled the spirits out of them, and they were in their right mind. You know, so a retarded person and people like that, those are demons, those are spirits that are making them be that way. Okay. All right, so let's go from there to the book of, let's see, Acts. Let's see what this is. Acts 26 and 18. It says, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light. See, and that's the key, to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto the Most High. Like this guy that them brothers, that he gave the testimony, this guy was turned from Satan, but he's still in the demonic worship. Satan in the church, because the churches are nothing, these Christian churches are nothing more but a lightly veiled worship of the sun that was started by Constantine. You know, and if you was to tell this guy that Yahushua was a black man, more than likely he'll scoff at him. You know, if you was to tell him he was an Israelite, more than likely he'll scoff at him. You know, so pretty much this pretty much applies to the brothers. You know, because we were out there, we were all serving Satan, and then now the Lord turned us to serving Him. It says that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me. But the point is that the Lord is the one that opens up your eyes. You're going to serve somebody, like my man Bob Dylan said, you're going to either serve the Most High or you're going to serve the devil. It's just that simple. All right, moving on. This is St. John 13. This is the book of St. John 13, and I'm going to read verses 1 and 2 and then jump down. John 13 and 1. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahushua knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil, having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. So the whole time, Judas, you know, he was, you know, he was with Yahushua. He saw the miracles that Yahushua did. But at that moment, after they had the Passover meal, that Satan entered into his mind and he went to go betray the Lord. You know, because it was all in the mix. But at that moment, that demon entered into him to go to the wicked Pharisees and them to betray Yahushua. Why? Because it was prophesied. Okay, to betray him. Jumping down to the 21st verse. When Yahushua had thus said, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And he knew who it was. That's why he said, have I not chosen you 12 and one of you is a devil? Then the disciples looked one to another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on Yahushua's bosom one of his disciples whom Yahushua loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on Yahushua's breast said unto him, Lord, who is it? Yahushua answered, he it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahushua to him, that thou doest, do quickly. So the demons, as soon as Yahushua gave him the sop, the demon jumped right into his spirit. You know? And then he was possessed. He went and he went to go do what he had to do. And when he came back, he was so fresh that he kissed Yahushua in the cheek, you know, which pretty much, you know, was to fulfill prophecy. But it just let you know, you know, that's why the scriptures speak about the terror of the Lord. Knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, you know, because nobody's exempt. So we prayed, Yahweh Shai guide us and give us the strength to continue on. It says, now no man at the table knew for what intent he spake this unto him, for some of them thought because Judas had the bag that Yahushua had said unto him, buy those things which we have need of against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. He then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night. Therefore, when he was gone out, Yahushua said, now is the Son of Man glorified, and the Most High is glorified in him. All right, so now let's go from there to the book of 1 Samuel 16. And this too, man, this too should put fear in you, you know, because, you know, you got some guys that come into this thing and they act like they learned this, you know, like you got them clowns, you know, in Chicago, Nazariah, you know, him and them other clowns, and Element and Babylon 5. Them dudes got so many demons on them and they don't even see it, you know, and they think that they're wise. But that's what it is. They think that they're so smart, you know. They think that they're so well studied and all that, and they don't see they so smart they're stupid because they don't see that them demons are popping and oozing off of them, you know. Because you know you come into this truth and you learn a few scriptures and cats start getting proud. It's good to say knowledge puffeth up. Let me get something real quick. 1 Corinthians 4. And just bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. Right. 1 Corinthians 4 and 6. And these things, brethren, I have in a figure transferred to myself and to Apollos for your sakes, that you might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written. Why? Because man at his best state is altogether vanity. That no one of you be puffed up one for against another. And these guys are puffed up. You know, they're puffed up. They're like super puffed up marshmallows. For who maketh thee to differ from another? And what hast thou that thou didst not receive? So you didn't get this on your own. This is a gift that was given to you. Now, if thou didst receive it, why dost thou glory as if thou hadst not received it? So you acting like you came up with this on your own. Like you never had any other men, you never had men to teach you. You just one day woke up and now all of a sudden you knew all the breakdowns of the scriptures. You knew you were an Israelite. You knew all these great mysteries. And then you act like you just came up with it on your own. You know, that's what the Lord said. That's right. The brother put a GMS Lions den. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. You know, and that's true. That's another good scripture, the novice scripture. They fell into the condemnation of the devil because they wanted gratification. They wanted acknowledgement. They wanted me. Look at me. Look what I know. I know more than the elders. I know more. You know, I mean, a dude like that shows that he's very small inside. He's insecure. He's small, so he has to make himself look bigger than what he really is. You know, I want to be big. So this is 1 Samuel 16, and this is a good example here because the Lord told Samuel to anoint Saul king, and the Lord anointed Samuel king. I'm sorry, he anointed Saul king, and the spirit was on him so heavy that Saul was prophesying with the prophets. 1 Samuel 16:1, and Yahweh said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. So the Lord pulled his spirit away from Saul, King Saul. That's how heavy the Most High is. All right, now let's jump down to the 14th verse. It says, but the spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from who? From Yahweh troubled him. So the Most High put an evil spirit upon Saul, just like he put an evil spirit upon Lahab. You know, and we believe in the spirit that Lahab is Saul. You know, now can we prove that? No, that's just something we believe. You know, through the spirit, we believe that Lahab is King Saul in the reincarnation. You know, but the point is, you know, you got guys that puff themselves up. You know, the Lord could strip you of that spirit and put a reprobate spirit on you. You know, the hell you boasting and being proudful and being all puffed up as if you were some great teacher. You know, the Lord, this is a gift that the Lord gives you. Faith is a gift the Lord gives you. And so if the Lord gives you this gift, how are you going to act like you the shit? And man, we tell you, brother, time and time again, but it goes in certain guys' ears and out the other. One ear, going one ear and out the other. We've seen that many times again. You had these guys come in, they had super great memories. They were walking concordances. You know, you ask them for any scripture, they'd be able to find it, you know, off the top of the dome. You know, when they spoke, sparks shot out their ass, you know, fire was coming out of their mouth. But where are they at now? You know? That's why the scriptures say the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. You know, and the way you see Apostle Tahar and the rest of the apostles and elders, the way they are, that's the same way they've been for years. They haven't changed. You know? All right, so the Lord took his spirit from Saul and gave him an evil spirit. Now this is Romans, the 1st chapter, and the 21st verse on down. Because that when the Most High knew, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So those are spirits. Those are foul spirits. You know, like this guy here said that he would sick adulterous spirits on people. He would sick homosexual spirits on people. But he found out that certain people that he couldn't plague with that. You know, he couldn't plague with that. Why? Because the Lord put a hedge around those people. So those people could be part of the elect, and they'll come out of that church, you know, and come to the truth, you know. But the point is that this guy was putting casting spells on people, calling demons on people. All right. It says It says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So be true. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And those are spirits. You know, this whole transgender, homosexual, lesbian agenda, those are demons. And through this music, they're pushing that. There's that song by Case, Foxy Brown, and I forgot the other whole. It was a song they had. I forget the name of the song right now. But I remember one night, you know, I was sipping because I kind of liked the song. One night I was sipping, listening to it, and then in one instance, I heard like a voice in there say, "Be a lesbian." I was like, "Oh shit!" I said, "You see this shit?" Because you had the two bitches in there, you know, and they're pushing that homosexual lesbian agenda, you know. There was something else that came to mind. Oh, this asshole, Killer Priest. He did this song. I don't know what the chick's name is. Let me see if I type this in. I don't know the chick's name. It started something with an R or something. Nah. Well, he did a song. He did a song with this Latin looking chick, and pretty much the chicks were like rubbing up on each other, like with that lesbian shit. And this dude came in there doing his bullshit, showing a big ass butt and shit, you know. So he was pushing that homosexual agenda too, you know. And he's totally gone. Them spirits got this dude. Them spirits are feasting on this guy, you know. I mean, I wish I could find the song. You brothers probably know what the song is, but the point is, you know, he was pushing that bullshit. You know, look at that, the winged people. You know, so he was pushing that homosexual agenda, and that's what this music of today is, especially the music of today. They're pushing that homosexual agenda, which those are spirits, you know, that they're pushing out there through the music to jump on people. You know, it says, and likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. You know, which is the different diseases that you get from that vile affection. Hey, like Eddie Thong, you know, Eddie Wrong Thong, you know, he's out of here, you know. He was involved in that shit. He's supposed to be a man of God, you know, involved in having sex with other men, you know. And then he got a wife so he could cover up the fact that he's a faggot, you know, or was a faggot. Well, anyway, moving on. And you know, though the Lord allows that to happen, you know, because that's the Lord's sifting agent. Now, there's instances of righteous men that have called demons on people because they were being the devil. This is 1 Timothy 1:18. This charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare. Why? Because you had guys back then that were falling away from the truth. You know, so Paul would commit certain things to Timothy and instill certain things in him so that he can be strong in the faith. It says, holding faith and a good conscience, which some having put away concerning faith have made shipwreck. And then by them being made shipwreck, what they did was they were trying to get others to follow them. That's why Paul would put curses on these guys. You know, just like you had the flat earther guys, you know, they try to, Babylon 5, you know, they'll fall away and they'll try to call brothers, see who's going to go with them. That's heaping disciples unto themselves, you know, but those are seducing spirits. And then you was cool with the guy, so he was like, I don't know, maybe he does have a point there though, you know. Why? Because you and him was cool, so you trusting in that. Next thing you know, if the Lord ain't with you, you right out there with him, bugged out of your mind. of whom is Hymenaeus and Alexander, whom I have delivered unto Satan. So Paul sicked Satan on these guys, that they may learn not to blaspheme. So Paul sicked Satan on them guys. You know? Why? Because they were going against the doctrine. So you could put curses on people for demons to get on them, but in righteousness, this guy here was doing it in wickedness. You know, he was putting adulterous spirits on people, homosexual spirits on people, you know, and all different other types of madness. All right, so now let's go from there to 1 Corinthians 6 and 3. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? So we're going to be able to sick angels on people, you know, just like the Apostle Paul did. You know, he called Satan on those guys. He delivered them over to Satan, you know. So the point of this lesson is that you're going to have spirits. You got principalities, you got spirits, you got demons, you know, you got powers, you got angels, you know, and they're everywhere. You have righteous ones and you have wicked ones, you know. This is the book of Luke, chapter 10. And like I said, I'll go as long as the Spirit allows me to. And then if I feel like I have enough scriptures to go over another like a part 2 to this, then I'll do that, Lord's will. This is Luke 10:1. After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place whither he himself would come. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers into his vineyard. Why? Because there's a lot of work to be done and not enough men to do it. And the men that are there to do it, some of them got their hands in their pockets. Some of them are not getting involved. Some of them are not doing anything. They letting all the load on 1 or 2 brothers or 3 brothers or 4 brothers or 5 brothers. That's what Apostle Paul, Apostle Tahar said, that you always see the same 15, 20 guys doing video. You always see their faces. Where the hell are the rest of these guys at? There's a lot of work to be done, man. This is verse 17. And the 70 return again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. So the Lord gave them power over these demons, over these devils. Now let's look up this word, devil here, devils. Let's see what this says. Beautiful, devils. Daemonion. Let me see.
Strong's G 1140. Daimonion. Daimonion.
Daimonion. The divine power, deity, divinity, a spirit, a being inferior to the Most High, superior to men. Evil spirits or messengers and ministers of the devil. See, so these are different spirits, and they'll come down. They're not going to tell you that they're the devil. Right here, demonic being. They're not going to tell you that they're a demonic being. They're going to make it seem like they're cool. Don't the scriptures say that matter of fact, let me get that. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Yahushua. So they're not going to come, and tell you that they're demons. They're going to come and tell you that they're righteous men. But how do you know? The scriptures say, try the spirit, whether they are of the Most High or not. It says, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Apostle Gabar likes to quote that a lot. Something that Shakespeare said, that the Prince of Darkness will come as a gentleman, or something along those lines. So they're not gonna come, like a demonic being, even like them Catholic Church preachers. Them Catholic Church popes. That's why that one Jake knocked that one devil out. That goddamn pedophile. There was a picture of him holding a little baby in his hand. I said, look at this goddamn pedophile. So the spirit was on that Jake to punch that dude right in his mouth, man. Because he was, talking that bullshit. And Jake, why did he punch him right in the mouth? That was the Lord saying, man, shut the hell up, you goddamn pedophile. It said, no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. You see, so those are spirits manipulating these guys. You know, just like I'll get it soon, Lord's will. I'm not sure exactly where it is. You know, but like this woman that had the spirit of divination upon her. You know, that was a spirit to make her master's money. That was an actual spirit. And when Paul rebuked that spirit left and she couldn't divine anymore because she had a demon on her. And they got mad because that's how they were making their money. And that's what these pastors in the churches do. You know, they got that demon on them, that hustling demon, and they see an opportunity to make money in these churches. And that's where they start hooting and hollering, you know, and jumping around. All right, now let's go from there to the book of James, 2nd chapter. In the 2nd chapter, in the 19th verse. Thou believest that there is one power, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. So these demons tremble at the Most High. They tremble at Yahweh. Why? Because they're in perfect order. They're in perfect order with the Most High. They don't come up to the Lord and buck up against the Lord. Say, nah, Lord, I don't feel like doing that. I'm going to do what I want to do. No, they're in perfect order. The scriptures tell you that the angels are in perfect order with the Most High. They delight to do his will. You know? And just like with anything else, you have the right hand side of it and you have the left hand side of it. All right, so now let's go from there to Matthew chapter 4. Because that's one of the things that Yahweh Shai came to do. He came to heal those that were sick. He came to cleanse the lepers. He came to help those that were oppressed by demons, you know, and he gave his disciples the same power. You know, and today, when you look at it spiritually, the men that came before us, they were given that same authority because by the words that they taught in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that removed demons from all of us and brought us into the truth. You know, so that same power we still have today, but it's just in a different form. You know, it's more by the word now, and there will come a time when there's miracles will start happening and stuff. The scripture saying the day of thy power that people shall be willing. But there's power in the word right now to cast out spirits. That's why the elders in the old school, they did a exorcism where they got rid of demons out of a certain building. And the brothers in the New York camp did an exorcism and they got rid of demons out of the building. This is the book of Matthew 4:23. It says, and Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And those are spirits that were messing with them. And his fame went through all Syria. That's why even if you have a sickness, you know, and the Lord don't want you to get rid of it, no, I don't give a damn how many herbs you take, you're not going to get rid of it. Now, if the Lord, you know, you pray to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai, you know, to have mercy on you, and then you know, we say the prayer and take the herbs, and the Lord heal us because the Lord had mercy on us, you know. But some people out there, the reason why they don't get better is because the Most High allows them to stay in that situation because he wants to bring them back home, so to speak. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those that were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. So these are all people that had demons on them, and Yahushua was healing them. Now I want to look at a couple of these words. Look up the word. Let me see. Torments, basanos, a touchstone, which is a black the rack or instrument of torture by which one is forced to divulge the truth, torture, torment, acute pains of the pains of a disease, of those in hell after death. They're going off on that. But pains of disease, you know, acute pains, you know, torments could also be in your mind, you know. So torments, let's see, possessed. Yeah, see? Diamonizomai, if I'm pronouncing it right. Probably butchered it, but hey. To be under the power of a demon, see? So they were possessed with demons. And when the Lord cast the demon out, they were in their right mind. Yep, that's a good one. Acts 16 and 17. The same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High power, and show unto us the way of salvation. And she was right, you know. And after a while, Paul, you know, because the demon in her knew that. And Paul was grieved, you know, because she kept saying that. So he just rebuked the demon out of her, which I believe that's one of the scriptures on the list. All right, so that was that. And there followed him great multitudes of the people from Galilee and from Decapolis and from Jerusalem and from Judea and from beyond Jordan. All right, now let's go from there to the book of Matthew, the 8th chapter. We got a couple of scriptures in Matthew, the 8th chapter, and the 16th and 17th verse. It says, when the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and cast out the spirits with his word, and healed all the sick. See, so Yahushua cast out the spirits with his words. You know, he was powerful. And them spirits, sometimes they would tell him, look, Yahushua, we know who you are. Why you here to taunt us before our time? Because they knew who he was, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses. See, so Yahushua took that upon himself. That's why the scriptures say that he was a man acquainted with grief, meaning he was a man acquainted with diseases. That's why they use that big clown that's dead now, Duncan, whatever his name was, Clark Duncan or something like that, that played in the Green Mile. You know, and then he would grab people and take their diseases away and take them upon himself. That's, you know, that's what Yahushua was doing, you know. So obviously the Most High didn't like that, so he took that dude out, man. Big overgrown oaf. All right, so let's move on from there to the book of Matthew 9. And 32 through 35. It says, as they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with the devil. So that's too, when you're not able to speak, you know, those are demons too, holding you back, you know. But the Lord does that, you know, to keep certain brothers, you know, keep brothers humble. You know, like some brothers might have great faith, but they may have certain ailments in their bodies that keep them from being proud, you know. So because, you know, some brothers have greater faith than others, but sometimes the men that have greater faith, the Lord may try them different, you know. Like the Apostle Paul, he said, look, you know, from the great abundance of revelation that were given to me, there was a thorn given to me on my side. Now we don't know if it was physical or if it was spiritual, but the bottom line was, the reason why that was given to him was because so he don't get beside himself and become proud from all the abundance of revelation and mysteries that were given to him. So the Lord will do that, you know. But you'll see the brother that has that ailment, he's fervent, you know, he had great faith, he's out there teaching, he's on fire, you know. But every man has a different walk in his truth. Not every brother's walk is going to be the same, you know. It says, and when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake, and the multitudes marveled, saying, it was never so in Israel. See, because it was never done in that fashion. You know, so because Yahushua had the power over these spirits to cast them out. All right, moving on. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. This is the book of Acts. What is it, 19 and 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits. See, they had evil spirits upon them. The name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, we adjure you by Yahushua whom Paul preaches. So they were trying to mimic what they saw the men of the Lord do, what they heard about Yahushua do. So I said, look, man, they could do it. We could do it too. Hey, that was just like Corey, Dathan, and Abiram. Look, Moses, you take on too much on yourself. We're men of the Lord too. We're people of the Lord too. We're going to run things up in here. And what happened? The earth opened up and swallowed them and their families. Now what? And they closed back up. Now what you gonna do? Same thing with these guys. They say, oh man, Lord, heal people. Paul is healing people. We could do the same thing. So they went and they tried to cast out evil spirits in the name of Yahweh Shai, you know, who Paul preached. And this is what happened. And there were 7 sons of one Siva, a Jew and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahweh Shai I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? You know, some demons like, look, man, these men you talking about, I know who they are, but who the hell are you? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them. Yo, hey, man, this ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. And then speaking of Ricky Harris, I was just watching the People versus O.J. Simpson. They just put it up on Netflix, and that dude Ricky Harris was in that, man. I was cracking up. I was looking, I said, man, see, he had no clue he was going back to the spirit world, man. So it says, and the evil spirit leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. So them evil spirits kicked their ass, man. You know, this thing is serious, man. This thing is serious, man. You know, you can't, these guys just, you know, they were presumptuous. You know, they were novices. You know, they were like these guys like Nazariah and them, you know, Nazariah and them, Alizé, you know, all these different clowns, the dudes from LA, the flat earthers, as we call them, Babylon 5, you know, and others, many others, you know. It says, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. Damn, that's a beat down. Them demons whooped their ass so bad they whooped their clothes off of them. It says, and this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai was magnified. And that was the point of that whole situation to go down, for the Lord Yahweh Shai to be magnified. Yeah, that's right. Them the demons beat the brakes off of them. Yo, they tore them out the frame. Oh shit, man. These scriptures are beautiful, man. It says, let me see. All right, so it says, many of them also which used curious arts brought their books together and burned them before all men, and they counted the price of them and found it 50,000 pieces of silver. So those different things that they used for witchcraft and all that, they brought them and burnt all of that. You know why? Because those things carry spirits. That's why when the elders went to do that exorcism, there were certain key things in that building that they took out. I think there was a frog there, a shoehorn, you know, a horseshoe, whatever the hell that's, no, a horseshoe, and different other things that were in that house that were carrying demonic vibrations. That's why what they did was they took all the stuff they used to use for magic, you know, for all of that, and burnt it. So mightily grew the word of the Most High and prevailed. You know, it was all to magnify the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, now let's go from there to Luke, chapter 4, verse 33. Like I said, I've had this lesson. I've been wanting to do it, you know, but you know, certain things would come up and I wasn't able to get to it. But I was inspired by these brothers when they did that, especially when I saw this, and then I saw some of the other testimonies that they did, you know, and lessons that they did, you know, which were good lessons. All right, this is Luke chapter 4, verse 33. And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and cried out with a loud voice, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Yahweh Shai of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know who thou art, the Holy One of the Most High. So them devils, they know. And the reason why they were like confused was because, say, wait a minute, we still got time to do our thing. You know, why are you messing with us, you know, so early? You know, but it was all to magnify Yahweh Shai. You see what happened, you know, when the people saw what happened to those vagabond Jews. You saw what happened to them, you know, and it said that the people feared. You know, you had the Israelites and the ones that were speaking Greek, and the word of the Lord was magnified, and many people joined because of that situation, you know. So it was time for the Lord to be magnified, and that's the reason why these things were happening back then. Yahushua rebuked him, saying, "Hold thy peace and come out of him." And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him and hurt him not. So, like you see movies like The Exorcism, Damien, you know, The Omen, you know, and all them different movies. These things actually happen. People are demonically possessed, and then the demons be making them, you know, shaking them and foaming at the mouth and all that stuff. Those are spirits, man. You know. It says, and they were all amazed and spake among themselves, saying, "What word is this? For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they come out." Why? Because he has power over them. And then this is before he fully got, because he had to defeat them first. But even before he actually fully defeated them, he was still in that spirit, you know, because it was already predestined. And the fame of him went out in every place of the country round about. Let's see. Let's go from there. Oh, 40th verse. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with diverse diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. Now Nate and them would have turned them away. Other guys would have turned them away. Said, "Nah, you sick. You know, the Lord ain't dealing with you. You can't be. You know, he can't be dealing with you because you're sick." They would turn these people away. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, "Thou art the Messiah, the Son of the Most High." And he rebuking them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was the Messiah. You know, so them demons, they know, man. And that's why they attack. That's why they jump on people to mess with you, you know, to get you to get carnal or whatever the case may be. All right, now let's go from there to the book of Mark, chapter 5. Damn. All right, this I guess there must be some good meat in here. Mark 5:1. And they came over into the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Now this was a strong demon, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. Why? Because them demons made him stronger. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. It says, but when he saw Yahushua far off, he ran and worshipped him. Oh, wait a minute. He did what? He worshipped him. I thought you're not supposed to worship Yahushua. And cried with a loud voice and said, "What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou Son of the Most High Power? I adjure thee by the Most High that thou torment me not." For he said unto him, "Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit." And he asked him, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Now a legion, when you do the research, a legion is anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 men, you know, Roman, you know, in the Roman military. You know, the numbers vary, so around 5,000 to 6,000, somewhere in that area. You know, some say a little more, some say a little less, you know, depending on the research you do. But we'll say about 5,000 to 6,000, you know, possibly 7, you know. It says, and he besought him much that he could not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, "Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them." And forthwith Yahushua gave them leave, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine. Show you, man, pig, man. And even these pigs, they were, like Apostle Gabar said one time, even they had enough sense to go drown themselves and get the demons off of them. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. There were about 2,000 and were choked in the sea. You know, they just said, "Fuck it." And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what it was that was done. And they come to Yahushua and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion sitting and clothed and in his right mind. Let you know them people that are mentally disturbed, those are spirits, man. You know, so there'll be a time when the Lord give us power, we'll be able to heal people like that, you know, and different infirmities, you know. And they were afraid, and they that saw it told him how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coast, because they was like, nah, you got to get out of here. And he was coming to the ship. He that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him. Howbeit Yahushua suffered him not, but saith unto him, go home to thy friends and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee, and has had compassion on thee. See, because that was his whole reason for being alive was to have them spirits on him, so Yahushua could come and heal them, so he could go back and give that testimony and spread the fame of Yahushua even more. And that was all that he that he was to do. And that was his mission. His mission was not to go out and teach, you know. His mission was just to glorify the Lord through the miracle that Yahushua did for him. And he departed and began to publish in the couplets how great things Yahushua had done for him, and all men did marvel, you know. So he told them. So pretty much he gave a testimony of what Yahushua did for him, you know, which he cast some spirits out. But the point of the lesson is that them spirits are out there. This is the book of Luke 9 and 37. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up soon. I mean, I got a bunch of other scriptures, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I'll see how many I can get to before we close up. Luke 9 and 37. All right. It says, and it came to pass that on the next day, when they were come down from the hill, much people met him. And behold, the man of the company cried out, saying, Master, I beseech thee, look upon my son, for he is mine only child. And lo, a spirit taketh him, and he suddenly cried out, and it teareth him that he foameth again, and bruising him hardly departed from him. And I besought thy disciples to cast him out, and they could not. And Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you and suffer you? Bring thy son hither. And as he was yet coming, the devil threw him down and tear him. And Yahushua rebuked the unclean spirit and healed the child and delivered him again to his father. See, so those are them different spirits. Let's see what we got here. This is the book of Acts 16. Yeah, this is a good point here. Acts 16 and 16. It says, and it came to pass, as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with the spirit of divination met us, which brought her master much gain by soothsaying. All right, let's look up the word divination. If I remember, there was a pretty good definition there. Python, or Python. In Greek mythology, the name of the Pythian serpent or dragon that dwelt in the region of Pytho at the foot of Parnassus and Phocis, and was said to have guarded the oracle of Delphi and been slain by Apollo, a spirit of divination. So it goes back to that, you know, and people, they would worship certain demons and certain gods, and that them spirits would jump on them. Because this same guy here, he went to a Botanica, and in the Botanica, he saw all the different statues. He said, you see this? This is nothing. He picked up the statue. This right here, this is nothing. This statue over here, this statue over here, this thing over here, these are nothing. These idols, they're nothing. He said, but it's the ritual that you do with them that causes that demonic entity to enter the person. When they start partaking of that thing or that situation, you know, that's when the demons enter people. When they start praying to it and burning incense and, you know, and spitting rum on it, you know, and saying those enchantments, then they become possessed. You know, like you see all them different people that do santeria, brujeria, you know, obia and all that. They do certain things, certain enchantments, you know, in certain incantations, and them demons come and dwell in them people and possess them, you know. So that's what this is, you know. It's the same thing that was going on back then, but today you have it in modern day terms. You know, you have the Orishas, you know, among Ephraim and the other Latin tribes, you know, that are the different, you know, like Ogun and Oshun, Yemaya, Chango, and all them different demonic gods. And what they do is when they start praying to them and doing certain rituals, that's when them demons jump in people, you know. So that was the same thing here. All right. All right, moving on. It says, the same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the Most High Power, which show unto us the way of salvation. And this did she many days, but Paul, being grieved, turned and said to the Spirit, I command thee in the name of Yahushua Mashiach to come out of her. And he came out the same hour. Okay. All right, let's move on from there to Acts 8. Uh, 9 through 11. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that he himself was some great one, to whom they all gave heed, for the least to the greatest, saying, this man is a great power of the Most High. And to him they had regard, because that of a long time he had bewitched them with sorcery. You know, so he was casting spells on these people, and they had demons in them. They were following him. So when I'm not sure if it was Philip or Peter or both of them, you know, they were teaching, he wanted to buy that power, I believe, and they pretty much cursed him out. But the point is, he was casting spells, and them demons was jumping on them people, and they were mesmerized by this guy, you know, because they were evil spirits, you know. And like I said, that's the purpose of this lesson. Let's go from there. Leviticus 19 and 26, I believe it is. You know, because these are commandments. It says, you shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantment, nor observe times. You shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mar the corners of that beard. Where's it? Let me see. Okay, 31. Thou shalt rise up before, I'm sorry, 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh, your power. So there was laws that you weren't supposed to do these things. And the reason why is because them spirits will inhabit your body if you do that. You know, so Yahweh was there to heal these people that were possessed with these different spirits, you know. Let me see, Mark 3. Like I said, I'm about to wrap it up in a few minutes. I'm trying to read a couple more of these scriptures. Mark 3 and 9. It says, and he spake to his disciples that a small ship should wait on him because of the multitude, lest they should throng him. For he had healed many, insomuch that they pressed upon him for to touch him, as many as had plagues. And unclean spirits, when they saw him, fell down before him and cried, saying, thou art the Son of the Most High. And these spirits know who Yahushua was and who his men are. And he straightly charged them that they should not make him known. See what this says here. Luke 10 and 17. It says, and the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So there's certain men that the Lord have given that power to, you know, and we're those men coming back in the reincarnation. You brothers that's out there learning, teaching, you're them same brothers too, you know. So, you know, the point is, you know, we gotta continue on this thing, because you got principalities, you got spirits, you got demons that are constantly fighting against us. They, you know, they're trying to pull brothers out of the truth. They're trying to turn your world upside down, because that's part of the discipline, you know. So, you know, we try to do lessons like this to comfort brothers, like I said, not to scare brothers, but to comfort them and to know that these things are there, you know, and the scriptures are there for what? For our comfort, you know. And, you know, next time that you go through these things, you know, just know that it's them spirits that's messing with you, you know. And Yahushua defeated these demons 2,000 years ago. You know, he made a show of them openly, and he has the power over them right now, which power he bestowed upon us. Matter of fact, let me get Matthew 28. I guess I had a few other scriptures, but I'm just going to get this one, Matthew 28, 18 to 20. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. So be true. So Yahushua is with us. He's still with us all the way up until now, you know. So we're defeating. That's what the scripture say, casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High. So when we out there teaching, breaking these scriptures down, we're casting down dominions, we're casting down principalities, we're casting down spirits, demons, you know. Brothers that are listening to the word, the demons are being exercised off of them. They're coming to do the work, you know. 1 Thessalonians 5:1, brother GMS Holland, wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also you do. Yep, put on the whole armor. That's right. That's Ephesians, the 6th chapter. Yep, and this, you know, I didn't go to the Ephesians 6 because, you know, brothers have gone over that, you know. It says, for we wrestle not, GMSOY, Yahweh, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know? You know what? Let me get two more of these real quick. This Colossians 1:16 says, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Now, when you look up principalities here, I don't know if they really go into it. Yeah, it says of angels and demons, the first place, principality, rule, majesty. It's like a horde, pretty much like a horde of them demons, you know, horde of demons. RK. Let me see, dominions, kuriotes, dominion, power, lordship, one who possesses dominion. All right, the last scripture I'm gonna get is here, Colossians 2:15. It says, and having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. So Yahushua said he was with us, and he triumphed over them, and he gave us the power to triumph over them. You know, so in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we have that power and that dominion, you know. So with that, you know, I hope you brothers have been edified. Hope you brothers have been comforted, you know, if you're going through any of these situations, you know, because we all go through it, you know. So don't think that you alone, you know. Like the scripture say, there's no temptation that is taken man, but such as is common to man. You know, so we all going through the same things, you know, and that's why we're here to comfort, you know. And other brothers out there, when they do their lessons, you know, they comfort brother spirits too, you know. Like I said, you know, my inspiration, you know, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua was these brothers and the lessons that they did and put up, you know. So I said I wanted to do a little something, you know. So I finally got a chance to, you know, and Barakatah Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for guiding my spirit, my mind, and my mouth to bring these precepts out. All right, brothers. So I say shalom.